understand that I am God's. I mean, yes, we can all give that theological awareness of it, but that doesn't remove us from the pressure of being online, of being within our society, of being removed from the relationships that have traditionally dictated who we are.
Right.
So how do we help people to even see this and where it connects with the Word of God? As you said, a lot of these young people are growing up in church, but they're feeling this pressure. And I don't know of any church that I can think of off the top of my head, I could be wrong, that's dealing with what you're talking about. But it seems to me this is exactly where people are.
Yeah.
So how do you recommend people? I mean, first of all, you'd say, read my book, right? That's
right.
Get the book, but
yeah, sure.
Excuse me.
Yes, it was at the end of the was that the end of the question? That's
going to be the end of my question.
Okay.
Sorry, I coughed.
You were in the middle of a sentence and then you coughed, and that was the period. Your cough was the period, which is totally fine. So here's what I would say. I need to have
shorter sentences. My questions go on for like ever.
No,
like
that's
novels.
fine. Yeah, so here's what I would say. I mean, not everybody needs to read the book. I would encourage pastors to take the basic structure of the book. And I tried to think through this strategically. How do you invite people to consider the alternative? And the structure of the book is an invitation to see an alternative. And I do think I teach Dante's Inferno and the Divine Comedy, and I do think the basic structure of the Divine Comedy is the way that we move towards sanctification, and that is we have to descend before we can ascend. And when we see cultural problems, we have to look at them squarely in the face. In my experience, a lot of people are ready. You said that one of the things my book does is name things. People are feeling these things. They need language to name them. And so what I would encourage is churches to put labels on things. You don't have to use what I use the language of the responsibilities of self-belonging. If society is saying you have to belong to yourself and they're putting these burdens on our shoulders, I think responsibilities of self-belonging is useful language. You can come up with your own language, but the point is giving people language to see and helping reveal these things. I think that's useful. It's painful though. That's why I'm describing it as a descent, because they're not going to want to see these things. It's a painful process. And as I said, they're feeling these things already, but there are a lot of things that we feel that we don't want to deal with. I talk at length in the book about our coping mechanisms, the way that we sort of suppress these things
and self-medicate.
Right? And self-medicate. That's right, because that's easier than acknowledging the inhuman burden that society is putting on our shoulders. So I think that the first step is for churches to help people look squarely in the face at the inhuman burden that society is putting on them, the burden to be their own, to belong to themselves. And once you've done that, then people are hungry for an alternative. They see this does not work. You're right. I am not satisfied. I am tired. I am burnt out. I am overwhelmed. Give me something else. I'm thirsty. I need water. What can you offer me? And that's when the gospel, and fundamentally belonging to God, is the gospel, right? And so that's when you offer that, and that's the encouragement. So that's what I would say.